For this week, we are going to go through form enhancement and validation. And this is the last lesson that we are going to go through in the semester. So, the rest of the semester, you're going to be working on your term project and preparing for that certification exam. So this chapter does deal with forms and validating forms, and there is quite a bit of information in this. So I've actually kind of split it into four different sections. So we have JavaScript data validation and error handling. And the reason that you are going to learn some custom validation is because the HTML5 validation doesn't really display in a consistent manner. So if we take a look here, you will learn how to turn off the HTML validation and how to create your own JavaScript validation. You will also learn how to add kind of a placeholder for error messages. And we do that with the span tag and an ID. So as you go through this, there are code examples, there are links to additional examples. And you will have an assignment exercise where you're required to practice this. You will also be learning Jquery data validation. And Jquery makes validation pretty easy. There's actually a plugin called Jquery Validate that we will be using. So I did include a link to that and to some documentation. And I have an example for you to look at. And then steps to actually use that plugin. And then what you need to do with your HTML and the actual jQuery file itself. There's also some styling that you're probably going to want to add in so that the errors display in a different color. Usually they're red, makes it easier for them to be seen. So as you go through this, it explains what you need to do to use jQuery Validate. And then there are some examples for you to look at. Section 3 is a review of using JavaScript to process HTML5 form elements. This actually includes JavaScript DOM commands that you are going to be using to access and process the form. If you are really comfortable with, and hopefully you are, with HTML5, the sections in orange are the ones that you should focus on. Because it's the sections in orange that show you the JavaScript. Okay, and so this is a section in orange. So it's basically how you would process an input element in your code. Okay, and then I've got a link so that you can try it yourself. And as you scroll through here, you'll notice that the JavaScript is always in orange, so it stands out. And that is what you want to make sure that you understand, because there will be questions on your MTA about that, which is why I made this review required. Then you'll notice that I do have some internal links here, so you can go directly to the different JavaScript sections. Okay, if you're really comfortable with the HTML, these will take you right to those areas that you need to focus on studying. The last section is a review from something that we covered earlier. It basically reviews how events occur, how they're handled, different types of events. We covered this earlier in the semester, but if you are having a hard time remembering everything, I did include the link here. And just want to point out that this is clickable, so you can open this up and find out more information about the event object or the animation event. And so that is what we are covering this week. It is our last big week for content. And your programming assignment basically deals with downloading some files that I'm giving you and then adding the JavaScript validation to those files. And adding Jquery validations and the validate plugin. Okay, so I think the directions are pretty self-explanatory between that and the lecture demo. But if you do run into problems, let me know and I will help you. Make sure that you have transferred everything to the web so I can see it. And then once you are done, you'll submit done to our Dropbox and continue working on the term project. So this is going to be kind of your last hurrah. So you can see when the project is due. So you need to have all 3 games complete. So they should be all fully functional. And remember, one needs to be jQuery, one needs to be JavaScript. And HTML5 Canvas works with JavaScript. It's not designed to work with jQuery. Okay, so one needs to be HTML5 Canvas JavaScript, the other one needs to be jQuery, and the third game is your choice. Let me know if you run into problems or if you have questions, and have a great week.